Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take on some of the news tidbits from Inauguration Day. Uh, let's see here. Biden, this is a funny one from Breitbart. Biden urges Americans to stand up to lies told for power and profit. Oh, are you really sure you want to say stuff like that, Joe? I mean, geez. Oh, yeah. And in fact, I think you should stand up against people who take bribes from China, through their son. Especially if it was, 10 for the big guy. Yeah, stand up to that guy. Ah, I heard about him. I don't know who he is, but yeah, I can't read some of this stuff because it's about the election. If you would like to hear about my thoughts on the election and the end of the Trump presidency, please tune in to my Bitchute and Rumble channels. Tonight, I will have a lamp video. It is a Bitchute and Rumble exclusive. Speaking of exclusives, too, you should check out Sticks and Hammer today. He's just gone off the deep end. He's back in America, and he's doing some crazy videos, most of which are on Bitchute anyway, so check them out. I'm sure he's got them. He probably has them on some of his other platforms as well. Juan Williams of Fox News burst into tears live on air as Biden is inaugurated. Okay, let's tone it down. I also found an article about Biden crying a few days before when he gave a speech in Delaware. And I thought, oh God, is his dementia, making him all emotional and weird? I watched the part of the speech where he cries, and he quickly just gathers himself together and continues on. I think he was crying about his son, but I didn't find it particularly sincere. Biden's kind of been, and I hate to say it, exploiting the tragedy of his son's death for a while now, and it's kind of gotten old, number one. And number two, judging by the way he treats his other son, as he's allowed him to apparently spiral down into drugs and degeneracy, I kind of don't believe he cares that much. I really don't think he cares that much about his sons. I think he cares more about his money, apparently. Or he's just so demented he doesn't care about anything. I don't know. Then there's a report on the Gateway Pundit. After lying to American public for years, when will liberal media report on Joe Biden's obvious dementia? When they decide to get rid of him. Yeah, when they decide that Joe's had his time and it's time to install Kamala and she's ready, off he'll go. And he probably won't last long at all. I think his dementia has gotten worse. He's starting to break down. I don't think he can last too long. Now, the upshot of that for the people running things is they love that because Biden is essentially their willing meat puppet. If they put Kamala in, Kamala might actually have her own ideas about things. And that's the last thing they need is anybody doing anything than what they want, what the group wants. And it's a collective thing. I see it like this. I think it's like a corporate board, right? So they got a big meeting and they come up with these ideas that sound great in corporate, but in actual practice are just stupid and idiotic because no one's actually tried them. Or it sounds great in the meeting and you score some points in the meeting with your boss because you say stuff that you think he wants to hear, but it's actually not a great idea. And I think that's the way things are going to be run for a while. Terribly. With regard to Trump pardons, he pardoned Bannon, Lil Wayne. I mean, look, I didn't think he was going to pardon Snowden or Assange. I wanted him to, but it's the last 2 weeks, man. He was lucky to get out of this thing without being thrown in cuffs, quite frankly. And not that I'm blaming the Capitol Hill rioters. I think they were stupid, but I think their riot has been blown way out of proportion. But unfortunately, Trump should have been at the Capitol. He should have been at the Capitol with another podium ready to go. So at least those people would have, who went to the Capitol ahead of him, would have been waiting at the second podium for his second part of his speech. That would have been one way to do it. But, hindsight's 2020. I don't blame Trump for the riot. He couldn't control that. He couldn't control that, and people who say he should, I mean, they've set the bar. There's two different bars. There's a bar for Trump and a bar for Biden. Yeah. Biden probably can't even put on his own pants. Joe Biden's sexual assault accuser, Tara Reade. Terribly painful to watch the man who assaulted me take office. Well, the upshot of our terrible, terrible media is they'll gladly exploit, this tragedy, crime, or whatever you'd call it. I don't know if you can call it a crime since it hasn't been proven, but this alleged crime, I guess you could say. So it's going to be back to haunt Biden, along with all his hair sniffing and all his other weird behavior, because eventually the media will be forced to report on it. They seem to be going after Trump supporters. Come at me, bro, I guess. I mean, I don't even really consider myself a MAGA guy, but you can try to, arrest 74 million people, I guess. But I really don't think you're going to succeed. I think that's just big talk from these idiots. I think they will, have commissions and, a couple of new laws, and the FBI will investigate right-wing militias harder than they investigate anything Antifa does. But I don't think it's going to be as big and as widespread as the media makes it out to be. I think it all dies down within a few months. But I've been wrong before. Video, police asked Portland Antifa to please stop destroying Democratic headquarters on day of Biden's inauguration. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Trump leaves QAnon and online MAGA world crushed and confused. That's not his fault either. Trump, look, people say, oh, well, Trump didn't deny the QAnon, therefore he bought into it. Look, why should he alienate any voters? As far as maybe he thought, no, maybe there's some guys in the government who are helping me. I don't know. But the QAnon thing, you can't be mad at Trump. You be mad at yourself. Be mad at yourself. NYU professor says black Latino Trump supporters are a product of multiracial whiteness. And this will be something we'll be hearing in the future. It's all part of critical race theory. It will be that whiteness will be a term used to describe anybody who doesn't have correct politics. And so it won't matter your race. See, it's not, oh, I'm not being racist. I'm just talking about your whiteness. Even though that's a pretty racist statement. But, this is racism for intellectuals, critical race theory. Biden economic policy based on race, gender, equality, and climate change. Yeah, that's going to go horribly, horribly wrong. The only upshot of it is, I don't know, get some stock in a solar company, I guess. My own tyrant Governor Phil Murphy is building a wind farm down in Salem. It's probably going to just be a disaster. Left calls for army of citizen detectives to monitor Trump supporters. Yeah, here's something you can monitor. Read between the lines. That's just what we need. A bunch of nosy, prudish leftists, with pink hair. It used to be the right-wing coalition people would do this kind of stuff. Oh, I'm going to call the police. You're doing something ungodly across the street. Now we've got women in pink with pink hair, in their polyamory relationships, dragging their two boyfriends along to spy on a potential Trump supporter. This is only going to go wrong and blow up in the left's faces. So I guess you could try to do it, but these people are certifiably insane. It's really, the left is indulging people, I think, with a certain amount of mental illness. Not a lot. I mean, they're not dysfunctional as human beings, but they have, fears and weird things that trigger them, and they, generate those things politically and think it's fine because they need to do that because they're so afraid, and the politics has given them clear villains that they can vilify and blame for all their problems. And that's what they need because they have a lot of problems. Otherwise, they have to deal with them. So they can externalize their problems and project it on somebody else. Biden charters a plane to D.C. after Trump refused him government jet. Oh, is that why he was in that plane? Yeah, apparently Biden was in a big private jet for some reason. And people were wondering how he could even afford it. I guess it's because Trump refused to give him the government jet. I don't know how true that is. That's coming from the Daily Mail, but haha if he did. Mark Rubio, no amnesty until all Americans can get good jobs. Yeah, that's probably not going to work, but the upshot of this whole thing is Biden's already backing off on his immigration plan. He is, he's going to be too busy scamming 19 million other things to give you what you want, leftists. So you're far, far, far down on the list, and you're going to have to really threaten his base, politically. I'm saying before you'll get anything out of him. You just won't get anything out of him. Huckabee pushes impeachment for Kamala Harris. Interesting, and then you got they're also already pushing for Biden's impeachment. Yeah, why not? Why not? You might as well impeach these guys. Be in a continual state of impeachment. You did it to Trump. Now do it to Biden. Although nobody's going to take you seriously, and they're not going to get anywhere. But at least give it a shot. What do you got to lose? Yeah, here's Fox News firing a dozen staffers, including political editor Chris Steyerwalt. So goodbye to you. Biden's DHS nominee will not commit to tearing down border wall. Yeah, they're not going to tear down the border wall. They already built it. You want to talk about something that would absolutely waste more money than I don't know what, is tearing down the border wall. You wouldn't tear it down. They're going to stop building it, but they're not going to tear it down. Kevin McCarthy rips Biden's push for amnesty while Americans struggle in pandemic. Yeah, that's not gonna be a good look. But I think Biden's going to pull the plug on the pandemic very soon. He's going to discover new science. It's going to be great. Yeah, it turns out the virus isn't all that transmissible. Yeah. It's going to go the other way. I've been saying this for a long time. It's going to go the other way. Biden will push it far the other way. The Democrats will suddenly go the opposite direction and say, not only do you not have to worry about the virus, but because of the new science, it's not that bad, and don't worry about it. Even as people die from it, they'll continue to say this. Because it's not about what's true. It's about what they need politically. Here you go, John. Want to go to bed? All right, I'll stay here. God, you stink today. You just stink. FBI agent undermines Pelosi's claim of insurrection incitement. Good. It wasn't an insurrection. You need weapons for that. More coverage of the inauguration. Joe Biden's DOD pick vows to rid military of racist and extremists. Oh yeah, I'm sure you'll only get rid of the racist and extremists who are right-wing. We'll see if you get rid of the racists and extremists that are left-wing, which probably are more numerous at this point. Trump leaves a letter for Biden before departing the White House. Love to see that letter. Well, it's probably friendly. It's probably a boilerplate. Did you see that bit on CNN that everybody's talking about? The guy who called the lights down the reflecting pool Joe Biden's open arms hugging America. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Joe Biden to sign 17 executive actions orders to reverse Trump policies, restore Obama-era programs on first day. Yep, we're going back to the Obama administration, everyone. Remember how great that was? Yeah, I remember it. I spent the first year. My ex was on unemployment for a solid year. We were living on the government dole. Yeah, it was great. Good riddance. China sanctions 28 Trump officials, including Pompeo, Bolton, Navarro, and Bannon. Oh no. Oh no, China. Oh no. What will they do? And that's about it. That's about it. Yeah. So that's it. Into you know, the look. Biden's president. What do you want me to do? If you want to get mad about it, you can. It's not going to do anything. Instead of getting mad, do something constructive. First, take a break, I'd say. If you're mad about the inauguration of Biden, take a break. It's not going to be anything to do for a while. Take a couple of weeks, get out of your head, and then come back to it. Trump's going to make some announcement, I'm sure, soon about what he's doing. I'm sure there'll be plenty of work to be done in that area if he's going to start a new party or if he's going to take over the GOP. Think about running for office, because we could always use some people running at the very local level for office. To take this back, we need to take back the states. One at a time. One little office at a time. Think about it. I can't run now. I don't have the money, the time, or the patience, but I could support people who do. I got a YouTube channel. I guess that's something.